Mark here, and today we're going to look at the newest camera from Reolink. I've got a number of Reolink cameras here on the property, and personally, number one camera in my opinion. I've reviewed a number of different cameras, and Reolink just, I don't know, it holds a place in my heart. Anyway, this is the Altas PT Ultra camera. It uses color night vision, which is something that I'm excited to see. I have used some cameras in the past. They were military prototype cameras. So this type of technology has been around for a long time, but of course it's been in the military industry. So nice to see that this technology is coming to residential for use by yourself. And we open it up here, and the first thing we see is our information package. So this generally has, it's got some mounting templates to it. You've got of course, your sticker to allow you to place that in a visible area so people know that they are being recorded. Then you have two booklets. So you've got a quick start, it looks like here, and then you've got the full operational instructions. So there you go there. So getting into the camera, we open it up, and there it be. So this is a 4K camera. Got a little do not eat silica gel in there to keep things dry and cozy. And we'll pull the camera out. It's got some weight to it for sure. So this does have 20,000 milliamp hour batteries. And what that means is, I believe there's 4 cells in here. You can get up to 8 days of continuous operation. I believe it's 12 hours a day, they say, on a single battery. So if you don't have it plugged in, you want to pop this somewhere to check on something, but you just don't have any means of power, you can get up to 8 days. Also, let's open this up. We should have, there it is there. So we have a solar panel. So if you are somewhere and you want to extend that, you can use this solar panel. It's quite large. It's larger than the standard ones. Of course, larger means capturing more power. And with that, we've got the mounting bracket here. So that is the mounting bracket. You'd screw your panel onto there, find a position that's pointing the sun, and just tighten it down. And there you go. So that's great. And then you have your solar panel accessories. And actually in this, you've got your camera accessory box. So that looks like it. So if we take a look at these two boxes here, we have there it is there. We've got a mounting bracket for the camera. It's a metal mounting bracket, which is good. So it looks like you would screw it onto your building, your fence post, wherever you want to install that. If you're installing it on a tree out in the back 40, and you want to capture, maybe you've got people partying back there or accessing your property, or you're looking for predators. Are there predators coming in? So they each come with a strap, both the camera as well as the mount for the solar comes with a strap. So you can actually strap that to a tree, not have to worry about screwing into a tree. So that goes on, and then this comes right in here, slides into place, and you're mounted. Looks like there's 2 screws on here. Take off that protective film, and there you go. So that is that's how that works. What else do we have in here? We have a charging cable, so a standard charging cable. Looks like USB-C, which is great. A lot of cameras that I've been using have been micro USB. USB-C charges faster. It's got faster speeds. It's a better product. So nice to see that they've incorporated the USB-C cable. Now, something about this, if you were using the solar panel, I have a Reolink camera down my driveway. It's a long driveway, and I like to know when people are arriving. So I've got a camera out there, but one flaw in the battery, in today's battery, they're always making new changes, but all cameras, all battery operated equipment have issues. If you live in a cold climate, we live here in Manitoba, Canada, it can get down to -40. And batteries just don't do really good at cold temperatures. They still work well. The camera that I have down at the end of the driveway, I have to bring in probably once, maybe twice a winter. Just disconnect it, bring it in, give it a full charge, and put it back out. Usually it's only, it's down for a day. So that's one thing. If you are living in cold climates, they haven't come up and invented a battery yet that will work just as well in the warm climates as they do in cold climates. So definitely keep that in mind. In the boxes, you also have all your screws, your hardware for mounting, and you've got for your solar panel mount here, you've got a little foam piece here, I guess to protect the building. So if you're mounting it to your building, you're not screwing it in and having a ring around it when you pull it off. This here will help stabilize it and secure it more. So I've never seen one quite like that. So that's they're putting a lot of thought into their camera design. Now the big features of this camera is, of course, it's a pan and tilt. So you've got your pan, you've got your tilt. It does have automatic tracking, and it will track, and you can select that in the app. You can select tracking vehicles, tracking people, even tracking animals. They also have a beta software in there, which actually works pretty well, is package detection. So if you have somebody walking up with a package to leave at your front door, the AI in this camera can detect that that person is holding a package and they've actually left a package behind for you. So the camera will send you a notification and tell you that there's a person detected and there is a package detected. So that is something really nice. And one thing that I can't stress enough about Reolink is you don't have to pay extra for those notifications. There's a lot of cameras out there that, they give you a 30-day free trial. They try to hook you in, and then you have to pay like $9.99 a month to get those features. Those features are built in. There's no extra. The only extra that Reolink has is cloud. So this will take a 512 gigabyte micro SD. So it'll record all on board. Now, it also has cloud capabilities. So that has an extra charge to it because, of course, you're using their service to hold your data. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't really use the cloud storage. And if you don't and you just use local recording, then you buy the camera and that's it. That's all you have to pay. So that is a really good feature. So looking at, you've got here on the bottom is you've got your power button and you've got your USB-C charging port right there. You've got a large speaker, so that'll be interesting to see how clear the sound is. And then I imagine the microphone is this little hole just over here off to the side. Then you've got on the camera itself, you have your micro SD right there. So you can plug your micro SD in. And as I mentioned, it's 512 gigabyte, which is, what do they say? I think they say 500 days of recording if you use motion only. Another great feature of this is it has pre-recording. So pre-recording is, and I've run into this before, where you look at your footage and, well, the person's already there, right? And they've done, and then you've possibly missed some of the action. This has what's called pre-record. So my understanding is it buffs video as it goes, and when it gets a detection event, it then uses that buffed footage to show you a couple seconds before that vehicle or that person entered into frame. Now, of course, keep in mind that is going to use a little extra battery, but if you have it plugged in, then there shouldn't be any issue with that. So color night vision, color X is what they call it. And what that does is it uses a larger aperture, so a larger opening to allow light in. It uses an f1.0 aperture, and you've got your what do you call it, your LED spotlight, I guess you call it, on the front here. So you can use that. You can turn that on and off if you have a detection event. So it'll come on if it's in a really dark area. But there's no infrared on this. So traditional cameras use infrared light. The drawback of that is you can get some dark areas where it can't collect enough data. The other thing is if you have somebody that comes along and does some vandalizing or steals something from your property, the Color X night vision will actually show you the color of what they were wearing. So if you're going to make a police report, you're able to say, yeah, he was wearing a red hoodie. With, of course, infrared, it would be a gray hoodie, and he'd be wearing gray shoes, and he would be a gray individual. So the color vision is really nice for that. Wi-Fi 6 is the newest Wi-Fi that is out there, and it uses less power. It tethers to the unit to get a strong connection, and of course this camera does support Wi-Fi 6. So I think that's pretty much everything here. We want to get this hooked up. We'll get some footage, show you that footage. That'll include night vision. It'll include, of course, day vision. And then we'll test out the audio as well. Go out, have some conversations in front of the camera. Just really put this camera through its paces and see what we can get out of it.
Here we are. This is it. So we're by the highway. It's quite windy today, so it'd be interesting to see how the camera, the microphone reacts to the wind. So we've got cars driving by, highway here, farm in the background, so plenty of noise. So we are in the country, but of course we've got some traffic and some hazards. Now you would have noticed that there was a pre-record, so it started recording before I actually entered the frame. And if, let's try this, if I move up, I've got the hand and tilt turned on. So it should automatically track me as soon as I get to the edge of the frame. Just find out, where's this guy going? Here we go. So now we're showing the front door. So it'll track you, and it'll do that until 30 seconds after movement has been detected.
So with that footage from the Reolink Altas PT Ultra, I tried to get some different shots, show you how it pans and tilts to follow vehicles and people, as well as the night vision. The night vision, the Color X, is kind of what blew me away. I did show that one photo of what it looks like in the farmyard at night. It was dark. The moon you could see in there, so there was moonlight. And of course, there was some yard lights. But I wanted to get an idea and take a picture of what it actually looked like. And you can just see the difference. It looks like completely black in some areas. So that in itself is probably what I'm most impressed with. I've got some cameras that do the tracking, which are great. They follow things around. Love it. If you want more information on the setup and go through all of the settings on it, I can do a video on that. There's a lot of different settings that you can tweak, the sensitivities. You can change the resolution, the frame rate. You can go through and pretty well tweak everything. Our son, he actually was interested in, he's got some home automation. He's a computer engineer. And I said to him, okay, well here, take one of these cameras and try it out. He was actually pretty blown away by the resolution of it. So he is going to be getting some cameras for his home automation as well. There is one drawback, other than the audio, but of course audio on these on any security camera is tough unless you're going for full professional type equipment. It is, it's good, but of course the wind noise was a big one. So the only drawback I saw was when we were walking up the steps. Now I have the camera mounted on the side of the deck. So any vibrations, you can actually see some, what you call, I guess, jello video, where it kind of vibrates. And that's us walking up the steps. And I would write that off to, it has such a large aperture to collect all of that light and process it, that any kind of vibration, us walking up the deck, creates that jelloing effect. So you can easily avoid that by attaching that to an object like not your deck, maybe a fence post or on the side of the house, the side of the garage. It's easily avoidable. But I wanted to put it in a nice area that I could capture a lot of different footage, and that seemed to be the best spot. So anyway, that is the first look at the Reolink Ultra PT Altas camera. It's a mouthful. But yeah, very impressed with it. I really like it. If you want any other information, please check down below. You can check on the links there and have a look at it. Anyway, until next video, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you then. Take care.